What's up, people? My name is Cinema Avalanche, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the Department of Education, its mishaps, and why I am all for dismantling it piece by piece, whatever it takes. Let's get into it. Before we get into today's video, I would like to mention that though it is past Memorial Day weekend as the time of me recording this, by the time that you guys see this video uploaded to YouTube, it will be exactly 6 years since I graduated high school. Liar! And got my high school diploma. Looking back at it, it feels a little nostalgic. This was right after I took my senior photos, and traditionally a lot of people take them before their senior year, but I took mine literally after, like, the day after I graduated was when I got these taken. And honestly, my time at South Garland when I went there wasn't entirely terrible, but a lot of the bad stuff outweighed the good in my eyes at that time. And it even stems back to the time that I was in middle school, which, looking at me in this photo right here, that was me 10 years ago, my first day at band camp, before I stepped foot inside South Garland for the first time as a high school freshman. And this is me one day after I graduated. So, like I said, it feels very nostalgic, but at the same time, I'm not too heartbroken about my time there. I'm 6 years removed from it, and honestly, thank goodness I'm away from that place. Now, with that little side tangent out of the way, we're not necessarily here to talk about the past, even though I just did, but it does have correlation as to why I'm talking about dismantling the Department of Education and why I think it should be dismantled. Honestly, it's not just to support what, everyone wants to have it abolished for, but for me, it's more of a personal matter as to why I want the Department of Education axed. And in order to properly explain and to help everyone understand why I feel that way, we first must go back to the beginning, to my earliest points of school, specifically right after I lost my dad, in this case, 1st through 3rd grade. Now, kindergarten through 1st grade, for me, wasn't all that bad. Despite the fact that I lost my dad around that point, it was pretty okay. It was really 3rd grade to where things really started to escalate. I was practically being victimized by everyone and everything around me in the school that I went to, and I didn't necessarily have a lot of friends to help me, deal with the BS, except for a couple neighbors of mine that used to live where I live, but they're long gone now. And I didn't have the most understanding teachers that, knew how I was feeling around that time. So it created a very volatile and toxic environment for me to be in. And this lasted until 5th grade, when I graduated, in quotation, really moving to middle school, from Southgate Elementary. Absolute hellhole of a school. I pray that the school district demolishes it. And then I transferred over to another school within walking distance from there. And while I thought that I was going to be much better off, the truth was it got even worse. Students were much more harsher to me. I had way worse teachers for the most part. And add insult to injury, because of the fact that I had autism, according to the school district that diagnosed me with it. Anyways, they had me on an IEP plan, which, again, just added further fuel to the fire. And I wasn't, off of it until my sophomore year of high school. And with all due respect, I never necessarily liked being in school to begin with. I always kind of thought of it as a war zone that I had to have inside my head every single day. I sometimes would be kind of afraid of going to school every day, especially when I was younger. And I never really enjoyed, having other students get into my space. And having teachers, push me around and all that, it just didn't help. Hell, I had a high school band director that told me that I was a disgrace and told me I'd never leave a mark on the world. And little do we all know, he's a current PDF file now. So.
Well, in disguise, for diabetic, dropping the heart, and did not mention that he's got one eye, he's lost so many toes, he can't walk the talk.
Wonder where that got him. With that out of the way, when I graduated from my high school, and when they called my name as I was walking up to receive my diploma cover, since they hand you the actual diplomas in the back, I, in my head, held my fist up high and said, no more. The cycle ends here, and I'm never going to set foot into another school ever again. Because frankly, I just wanted nothing to do with the education system. And honestly, looking back at it now, I'm glad I rid myself of everything related to school after I graduated. Because frankly, I needed to get away from everything. So now that you know a chunk of my story as to how I feel for dismantling the Department of Education, let me explain to those that honestly don't know how that's going to work out if they actually dismantle it. Not looking likely at this point, but we'll see. The truth is, dismantling the Department of Education will hand things over to the states. And while Texas isn't necessarily known for booting high test scores everywhere that they go, I would much rather trust the TEA to create their own curriculums than have federal BS from above. And yeah, you could argue, for those with special needs, where are their benefits going to go? Like IEPs. That is going to be handled and can be handled by the Department of Health and Human Services. As for free lunches, which is like the big thing that the liberals left was pushing for keeping after President Trump got reelected, free lunches aren't something that's overseen by the Department of Education. That is overseen by the Department of Agriculture, and anyone that believes otherwise was lied to. Speaking of, let's turn things over to why I personally feel like the DOE should be abolished, and watch this teacher crash out unnecessarily over Trump getting reelected.
And the only thing that bothers me more than him is all the Republican senators and congressmen who just keep going along with it. It's not because they believe in it. You gotta know they don't believe in it. They don't believe in any of it. They're just afraid that he's gonna talk smack about them on Truth Social, and then they're gonna lose their job in an election. So they're just doing whatever he says, which is the worst possible thing, because that's cult and dictatorship.
Far from it. I mean, the left was calling for the current president's unaliving and keeping him out of the election for years, and while they definitely had a justifiable reason in their eyes, I mean, everyone deserves a fair chance.
Jesus Christ, you see that?
As a side note, I'd like to note that this filter is incredibly distracting.
I'm not kidding when I say wipe that smile off. I don't care if that's a detention. I just wrote you a referral mentally. You're going to detention for bringing up politics in class.
Wow. Imagine getting written up or getting detention just for bringing up politics or for disagreeing with the teacher's political views. That honestly alone should prove to you exactly why, if you can't keep politics out of the classroom doors, you shouldn't be a teacher to begin with. You shouldn't be teaching children, if you can't keep politics out of your mouth. I swear, it's just...
You want to go for 2?
Control yourself, man.
Word. Shoot, I'll go for 2. That'll make the score 8-zip.
Yo.
Excuse me? Excuse me? After all I put up with you for the last 2 years and talked you up and stood your back when they ripped you, you what? You say what? What?
What? God.
Are you serious? Treating me with that disrespect? Are you serious?
Frankly, if you're undermining someone for political views, even if they're the opposite of yours, you're getting exactly what you deserve here.
Are you serious? Are you serious? If I could take back your letter of recommendation from college right now, I would.
Charlie Kirk said it best, college is a scam, so if anything, he would be doing him a favor.
You talk to me like that? After everything I've done for you?
You talk to me like that after everything I've done for you? Are you serious right now? Like,
Are you kidding me? No detention. Don't ever talk to me again personally. You can ask questions in class. You say anything in class without raising your hand, you go to detention for a week. From now on. There, so now everything's good, right? You got your high grade on the midterm, so everything's good. Now you can treat me like that? After all I've stood up for you, you punk ass. You really gonna do that to me?
frankly, I would be just as flabbergasted if a teacher crashed out at me like that. And with all due respect, as I previously said, if you can't keep politics out of your mouth, much less a classroom, you shouldn't even be a teacher to begin with. Like, I swear, one day, people on the left are going to figure out that everything that was pushed on them was a lie, and it's going to feel like they're being crushed by a school bus. Because that's how it felt for me when I figured that out. Alright? And honestly, if you're the kind of teacher that would openly do that, with all due respect, you get what you effing deserve. There's no other way for me to put it. You get what you deserve. Let's continue the crash out train and close out this video with a teacher that crashed out back in 2023 over at Rowlett High, which was a neighboring school in my district that I was growing up in.
God damn it! You chose for me to be held to fire on you. What you can do is I'll bring your right hand to my face. I'm going through all type of shit. I'm tired of being goddamn disrespected.
Dude pulled a Mr. Miyagi and a John Cena suplex.
Every goddamn day, when all I want to bet you, I very nicely told you what to do.
You don't gotta touch my phone.
I'm about to touch your goddamn phone. It wouldn't even come to that. It wouldn't even come to it. You gotta do what you're supposed to do. Don't say anything else to me.
Alright, cool.
It wouldn't even come to it. You
Look
gotta
at
do
that
what you're
student over
supposed
there.
to
He's
do.
tweaking.
Don't say that, folks. It wouldn't even come to that. It wouldn't even come to it. You gotta do what
Look
you're
at
supposed
him.
to do.
He can't even control
Don't say
himself.
anything else to me.
Alright, cool.
Don't you come crying. Enough is a goddamn enough.
Bro.
Dude sounds like the typical run-of-the-mill black pastor you find in Duncanville. Oh, gosh. Either way, this concludes my argument as to why the Department of Education should be abolished. And if you feel as the way I do, leave a comment. If you don't feel the way that I do, feel free to debate me, but do so respectfully. Be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe, as it really helps the channel grow out a lot. And pretty soon I will be airing out another video talking about Carmelo Anthony. So keep an eye out for that. Until then, I'm Avalanche, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.